secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought with it being such a unique thing that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. On the first visit, Jack took us into his another room, a separate room, and there were these brown parcels full of artwork piled up, and he said to me, "You draw like I do." We were in the studio for 5 hours, you know, it was fantastic, and there's this, he's got this desk, and everything he's ever drawn has come from this desk, and then I would just go with the flow, and that's what this film is about. It's just a unique film of him.
He says, "I beat you." He says, "They say we came in under the dead heat." He says, "That's not true because I beat you." And the American said, "Well," he says, "if you like to think so," he says, "but I know the real story." He says, I know I clearly won that one." See? Well, Joe is 6'3", and I was a run, see, from the Lower East Side. And being Joe's partner was an advantage to me because Joe was believable, you know, they would talk to Joe, and the Goodman brothers would get to know him. Martin Goodman owned Marvel at that time. He went to his mother and he says, "Look, Jackie got a job drawing." He says, "They're paying him for it. They're paying him money for drawing." He says, "Suppose I go with Jackie." He says, "And he says, they'll pay me money." He says, "I'll draw and they'll pay me money." He said, "I'll give the money to you," which we did. We gave it all to our mothers. They called me from Nassau. You know, I lived in Long Island. And they say, "Would you like to come down and draw these guys in training?" I swear, this is not a story. And I said, "Yes, of course, I'd love to come down." And,
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm. Condemned Courier. The Yerushalayim series. And Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Nothing unusual about a 4 a.m. call to a back alley in downtown Kenton. A young woman lying pristine and unmarked on the cold, hard ground. I get to work quickly, but there's not much to go on here. No marks of any kind, no signs of struggle, just a dead Vic in the middle of an alley. And then there's that. Dead body in a dumpster that looks like a grizzly bear has crawled its way out of his stomach.
In a world ravaged by monsters, a new evil has risen, poisoning the land and threatening humanity. Now, the Monster Matador, along with the meanest and baddest kaiju killers, have joined forces to kick its ass. Monster Matador, Afropocalypse.
Comics-related Madness presents Enter the Cromnyverse, an anthology featuring a little read to you with a bad.
Yeah, listen, it's me, Crom, the world's first real-life internet troll. So there's a whole gang of creators making an anthology starring yours truly. We're talking 15 creators, 13 stories, another 8 folks creating merchandise, all for your entertainment. Indiegogo is the place you want to go to back this glorious project. This anthology features my lovable self crossing over in today's best independent comic books and graphic novels, causing chaos everywhere I go. In addition, we're going to be offering custom painted shoes, black light tapestries, sketch cards, alternate covers, adorable crocheted mini-me's, original art, and sculptures.
Anyway, back in today, only on Indiegogo.
Better turn my mic on. Nobody can hear anything I'm freaking saying. That's wonderful. Hey, I started the show by myself.
Way to go, Pops. Way to go.
My normal co-host does not seem to have appeared in the backstage yet, but we have Nick from New Genesis Designs, and he's working on the shoes, and we promised everybody they'd get to see these as they're done, so he'll just be there in the background doing shoes. While I talk to our guest, Mr. Sean Terry. How you doing, my friend?
Good, good. I noticed that you did start the show by yourself. I'm glad I can hear you now.
What's up, Jim? Yeah, I ever since I got the new mic, I forget, because the old one was just part of the camera and you turn it on and it all works. You didn't have to worry about it. Now I have that, separate mic and I forget to turn it on all the time. You'd think I'd have learned by now, but no. So, Sean, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you got going on while I look up this campaign real quick.
Sure, yeah. So I've been doing comics the last couple years. I have a few titles going on. The company is Intelligent Comics. So Intelligent is just bringing an intelligent generation of stories. A lot of them tend to be more mature, more real-world based. I think that you read 2100 AD, which is kind of like a sci-fi book, and then the campaign going on now is for The Bar. The Bar.
And I think he froze. Or did I freeze? What's up, Nick? Is it him or me? It's him. Oh, he froze up on us. What is up? Good stuff. We'll just be waiting until he can continue his sentence. But while we're waiting, we're gonna pull up this campaign and take a look at it. Please let me know if y'all can hear me or if I'm the one frozen.
You're good. Just all the levels are a little low.
All right. Let me fix that too. But yeah, let's take a look at this campaign while we're waiting for our guest to make his way back. This is what there he is. He's not frozen anymore. You are not frozen anymore, but now you're muted.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm seeing if there's anything I can do here.
Oh, you're good now.
If
I'll
you
turn
want
everything
to, go ahead and play that video.
All right. That I can do. Probably.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello, 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 hello. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers.
I like it.
I like that more than the original song. Yeah, so I don't know where I cut off, but the bar is kind of like your Tales from the Crypt meets Law and Order, your Black Mirror kind of a thing. It's something that Vertigo might have put out, 15 years ago. So if you walk in the bar, you might not walk out. It's kind of like a place of judgment. I think everybody can walk in. The bartender kind of hears their story, and they might be met with a ironic twist of fate, right? So I think for me, I like the backdrop because what I can do is I can play in it. I could have anybody from any walk of life come in. It doesn't matter if it's a lawyer, a prostitute, a judge. Anybody could walk in. They might drink too much. They might share something that they are doing or have done or about to do. So I like that. All those stories, the thing that they might have in common might be they're just all from the dredges of life, like the darker aspects, the darker walks. And then, like I say, a lot of the endings will be like more of your ironic kind of twist of fate. That's where kind of like Tales from the Crypt comes in. There's always like the, I don't know, adultering wife that's a killer who gets killed herself or something like that. So I really like playing in that sandbox.
Nice. So, where'd you come up with the story concept from? Where'd it come from?
Well, I think I was reading Sandman, actually, Neil Gaiman's Sandman, and toward the end of that, there's like a bar that exists at the end of time, that anybody could like walk to or go to. And I thought to myself, reading that like 2 decades ago, why has nobody just made a series like with a bar that kind of anybody that could walk into? So I think that was kind of like part of the germ for it. And then, at the time I lived in Detroit, I'd walk down dark alleys in the middle of the night for a pack of smokes or whatever it might have been back when I partook. But so I got to see like a lot of really awful things. I got to see a lot of people standing on street corners for all kinds of various reasons, and let's just say I was never without inspiration. So a lot of these tales probably are very, very authentic in the sense of you really buy that these are the people that walked in. You don't question for a second, kind of like is the character IQ there, is the motivation there, if that makes sense.
Cool, very nice. And I understand taking life experience because you don't look. There's nothing better than stuff you've actually seen, experienced yourself, right? So when you transmit that or whatever onto the paper, it's like it's real life experience you're bringing out there, and you can describe and be in the moment a lot more putting it on paper when you've actually been in that moment in your life, so I like it.
Well, at the very least, it'll always help you with dialogue, just knowing how people speaks, knowing how somebody from this walk of life might speak, or that one, I think is the biggest thing. That's what really drives the authenticity. I don't know if you've read a lot of like the Bendis crime stuff and Brubaker. Those two guys, I thought, they just always had an ear for dialogue, whether it's somebody that just repeats a question, asks something that was said to them, just all the things that you can do to make it really kind of authentic and lifelike. Creatively, that's always where my interest is.
Now, do you write? Is somebody else drawing this? Is this all you? What's up?
I wish I could draw like that. No,
I know what you mean.
I mean, we'd be releasing a lot more of them if I can draw like that a lot quicker, I can tell you. But no, that's Ricardo Areola. He's a great artist. We actually, this is number 2. We got 3 that's going to be going to color. We'll be getting started on 4 pretty soon. So I mean, this is going to be ongoing. And one of the biggest things I think that is different with this series is every story is standalone. Like they might as well be their own mini anthologies. They're all 22 pages. The character doesn't exist before page 1 and ceases to exist after page 22. So the only constant in there is the bar and kind of like the bartender. The protagonist changes every issue, right? So it's about whoever sees it that night, whoever's kind of compelled to enter, and then their story begins to unfold. And just so you wonder, like, it's not confined to shots of being inside the bar, because a lot of it could be told through flashback, and so the series can really take you anywhere.
I like it. That's a great concept, man. The bartender, the crypt keeper is the bartender.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. If
The
y'all,
cool
if
thing,
y'all haven't checked this out, you need to. Let me drop this link in the chat real quick. This is good stuff.
one of the things I always liked about whether it was Tales from the Crypt or Law and Order or any show like that, it was always about, you know, whoever's tonight's story was about. You know, it's always tonight's tale is about so and so, right? So I really liked that aspect. But what would happen is in the midst of these series, whether it was Law and Order and you were starting to learn more about the detectives, because every episode you got like a little, I don't know, 30-second, minute-long piece of their lives, like they were either going through a divorce or they had been married, or like they'd comment on, you know, yeah, you should see my kid, you know, like it's always something. So I like kind of that slow reveal about the bartender, about, you know, not really understanding him or who he is or why he's there, but kind of learning that journey through each issue, and you put more and more of it together. So there's always kind of two stories in one. You're definitely, as the reader, looking at and watching whoever's in there, learning their voice, their story, but then you're also glued on him and his response and what is he going to do or what is his reaction. So I like that kind of push and pull, that dynamic of play, you know.
And you do have a catch-up tier, so people can read issue 1, right?
Yep, for issue 1 and 2 is there, t-shirts there. There's even a link that is a sample of all our books so far, so you can actually read a sample of issue 1, a 9-page sample, which is pretty generous portion. And then of our other book, 2100 AD, there's a sample of that. It's probably somewhere around that t-shirt, but either way, you kind of get to experience a bit of the story through, I think, the trailer, the movie for the Kickstarter, and some of the art. But really, it's tough because some of these stories have kind of grand reveals to them, or, you know, halfway through the issue, there's something in there that just might kind of shock you. So I do try to protect that. It's hard because you're trying to market the story for the sake of the Kickstarter, but then at the same time, like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who was around for issue 1. So I think reading that sample of issue 1, which does have a little bit of spoiler, but if anything, the sampler kind of ends on a cliffhanger, so you want to check out what happened there and then go to the second one too.
Good idea. One of the things, like, I'm running into with our campaign, same thing. We got short stories, anywhere from 4 to 10 pages, and some of it is like, if you show a page of a 4-page story and with the dialogue and everything, you kind of give 25% of the story up. I have a hard time doing that. So I'm having a hard time with what we're going to actually show on the campaign page. You know, it's like some of it you just might have to be some of it might have to be a mystery, and you just get it as a bonus when you read it.
What I've been trying to do, it's funny because that's like a minute-long movie that we played, yet at the same time, I chopped just it into panels. So that might actually only be 15% of the story. And then that's a better way maybe of giving it away. I know there's some readers, there's some backers out there that want to see full pages with the lettered art and all of that. Well, that's great. My letterer is Dave Sharp. He has been around forever, and he does the best work in the business. Objectively, everyone's has their opinion, but there's no questioning his credentials. So for me, really, as I'm starting to market more with pieces and panels, I think I'm having a better time doing that, just because you do kind of protect the integrity of the story for the people who want to experience it. But at the same time, you might see a few panels that are lettered. You might get a general idea of what the art looks like, what it's about, you know. So I think it's hard, right? Because the more we can give, probably the more people want to buy it. But at the same time, it's a balancing act, right? So.
Right. So this is your artist and your colorist right here. Right?
Yep. Well, she colors the covers, and then below her, Robert covers the interior. Robert does a lot of Source Point Press stuff. I
think I've met Robert at their booth at a con. Actually.
Yeah, he does a fair amount of work, at least a couple books a month for them, and then I think various indies. So he's phenomenal talent, and so is she. Really, I haven't worked with her outside of just coloring covers, but she's posted some pieces. I thought they were just dynamic and unique, so I approached her because because a lot of what we're doing at these first few covers is we're kind of making them like almost like still images in a gallery, right? Like putting the face on the person that the story is about inside. You know, it's weird. Everyone's got a different approach to covers, and on 2100 AD, that artist is just so action. Like he wants every cover to have the action aspects, and I love that because it draws you in. You know,
Right.
when we were probably buying comics when we were all younger, it was about how big can they be on the cover, how wild a punch can they be throwing. I mean, whatever it is that's going to draw us in. But what I also liked about buying comics kind of like in yesteryear was the cover always told you. Like when you look at Hulk 181, you know what's happening inside that comic, right? Like it wasn't really like a deal to where it's kind of like a vague comic cover and you got no idea about the story inside. So I think part of why we're going for more of that portrait look is like, you know, when you look at a back issue or you're flipping through the story, you're instantly going to recognize that story and who it was about and what happened inside. So that's part of it. We might come up with a different idea for maybe 5 through 8. I think 1 through 4 we're going to keep that tone and kind of go from there.
Very nice, very nice. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, we got all the tiers to go through. Okay, so you can just throw money at them. That's okay. You can do that. It's okay. Or you can pledge $5 or more and get the issue 1 digital, and then you can get caught up. And if you like it, I think down here you can get the print copy as well. The issue 2 digital deluxe for $7 or more. The 1 and 2 deluxe digital, you can get them both for $10. And number 2 print edition is $10 plus shipping. Issue 1 and 2 in print, $22 shipped. All digital comics. Now, what all is that? That's
Every comic we've released to date, basically. So
Okay.
that would be 4 issues of 2100 AD. That would be 2 issues of The Bar and 1 from our series, We as Americans.
And what's We as Americans about?
We as Americans, it's a little bit like The Authority or The Boys, kind of like a super team kind of getting together. I guess they're assembled kind of like in a classic Xavier way, a billionaire pulling people from all walks of life to assemble kind of for his purposes. So we did a first issue of that. Edgar Salazar, who did X-Men for Marvel and has done a lot of work. He's done Stranger Things. He's actually the artist for that one. We're not actively making new issues at the moment for that because we want to find a publisher that's going to really kind of carry and match that story. So at first I was looking at Image. I'm looking at different ones now. I don't want to mention any names. I'm having a couple conversations, but once there's a publisher for that, we'll begin to make new issues.
Cool. And you can get the print 1 and 2 plus the variant cover of number 2 for $26 plus shipping. Both variants, issue 1 and 2 plus both variants, $35 plus shipping. All Intelligent Comics signed. $45. All. That's nice. The Bar 1, 2, 2100 AD 1, 2, 3, and 4, and We as Americans, and all the digital, it says. So there you go. After you get them signed books, you don't even touch them because you got all the digitals as well. The retailer tier, gotta love it. You always gotta have one of those. Quality of each up to 14 copies for $50. Good, great deal. There you go. The Bar 1 or 2. Retailer only expanded, stepping out into the other books. Real good. And all Intelligence signed and all variants. There you go. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Got a drawn in tier. Always got to have a drawn in tier. Original pages. All right. So, we got stuff that's gone. Oh, so what is this? The stuff that's gone. We got 1 drawn in plus original art plus all variants tier, and it was gone. We should have more of those tiers.
Yeah. We're only giving away 2 original pages, so it's
all right. That's
part,
cool.
part of it is to help, I guess, with the availability, like the scarcity of it. But then part of it's because, sometimes artists these days, they're not creating traditional, or if they are, they might be doing it in pieces, like, so you might not get a full page with 6 panels on it. You might get a page that has half the page, like one panel, and then another page that you have to piece and combine. So artists work in a lot of various ways now, so to have like a beautiful looking full page to be offered, I think in the Kickstarter is a great thing, but we're limited on how many we can do. And then now that you're passing those sketch covers, yeah, so a lot of people love those sketch covers just because there's so much time put into the cover itself, just making it very realistic and lifelike, that to have that black and white version of it, that's like a classical traditional kind of sketch cover. Those tend to do pretty well too.
Nice, very nice. I'm looking, man. This art is really good. I like the whole bar setting. I like the concept. Geez, man, what's the part that excites you the most? I want to hear the passion. Bring it. Come on.
I think for me, honestly, this series, I could see it going 50 issues because there's never a shortage of things to talk about. There's never a shortages of people. I mean, if I look at like my notes of different story ideas I can do and produce, I probably have 30 of them already, right? So I've always thought that about this. It's kind of been in my mind for many years. So as I've seen something horrific on the news, I've kind of jotted it down because that's part of this too, is we only really get the headlines, right? Like anytime we see like, somebody, it doesn't matter. It could be a liquor store clerk was murdered or a body was found in the middle of an alley. That's all we really know when we watch it 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. We don't know the whole story behind it. So I think that you could say the bar is kind of like serving to put a name and voice to the nameless and the faceless kind of a thing. And so the fun part for me as the writer is I get to kind of pick what happened with that person, right? I get to kind of tell their story, their unique vantage. So it's almost like putting the face and name together from the headlines, if that makes sense.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, I was talking to our next guest. He's on his way. I have to make sure the show goes smooth. I don't have a co-host. I don't know where he is. Must be on the train in England going, I'm late. Oh, it's either that or he's passed out. It could be either one.
Whiskey can be a vicious thing.
Yeah, well, he lives in the UK, so it's like after 9 over there already. And if he had a hard day at work, he could already be Guinnessed out. Yeah, no. The job doesn't pay, so he doesn't have to be here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Nick, what do you think it is? I'm going to make him look up from his shoes. He said, 1 second. All right.
I like it. It's got kind of a not like a nostalgic feel, but it's got like a familiar feel because you brought up like Law and Order, and that kind of thing, but it also has kind of like it kind of reminds me of like Cheers, but it also kind of reminds me of like Supernatural in a way, which I'm a huge fan of that show, Supernatural. Because, they always end up in bars. Sometimes you see the same people there, when they go to certain towns and stuff. But, like, it reminds me of the Osiris episode where they go into a bar and Osiris, the Egyptian god, is hanging out in there. And he keeps nabbing people to judge them. And then he ends up, like, murdering them, like, because he weighs their judgment and guilt against them kind of thing. Or the one where they go to the bar and they wager, like, their life, basically, like years and youth and stuff. So like hearing your description of it, it feels familiar just because it reminds me of so many different shows, and there's so many different little things you touched on. It also, like, the art style reminds me of like Max Payne, like the original video game, Max Payne 1 and 2, and I love that art style. Like I can kind of picture it like the game in my head because they did kind of like a graphic novel cinematic sequence in that in those games, which is really cool. I really like the take on it. I really think it's super unique. And like you said, you can listen to the news any given day or week and end up with like 40 new stories that you can just like twist and bend, and they fit into like this whole new narrative and world now. But I'm curious. It also sounds like it's kind of a therapeutic or cathartic experience writing these stories, right? Because like you can listen to news and you can hear about this guy got away and we don't know who he is, and you can essentially make up a guy and a face and put him in that bar, and you could be like, and you're going to burn in a fiery car accident now, goodbye.
That is 100% correct. But no, I mean, everything you said touched on it. You know, the bar does have supernatural aspects, right? It's not stationary. It's not a stationary place. So you could be driving, you know, on this mile road in Detroit and happen to see it. You could be driving in Chicago and see it. So it kind of exists where it needs to. And then the people that enter are the ones that, you know, are meant to see it, kind of a thing. So it has all those aspects. So the supernatural comparisons, I think they're great. I think they belong there, and definitely the grid of something like Max Payne. So you know, there's a market for this series. That's part of me coming here, is just getting the word out to people so that we can tap into it and hopefully make a lot more of them.
Definitely. And even more with the art style, it reminds me of one of my favorite comics. It didn't get a lot of love, which really pissed me off because the series was great. The Church of Hell series comics. If you look that up and look at that art style, bro, your art style, especially that panel down there with the bar and the way the lighting is, and then the parking lot, like the distant shots of like a room of people, like it so screams Church of Hell to me. And it was like one of the greatest, goriest, gruesome comics I ever read. And God, I love that comic series.
That right there is like 50 bars I've walked into in my life.
Right?
You know, I mean, you walk in, that's what you see, right? A couple people sitting at the bar, bartender, and you know, other times you'll walk in that same bar, it'll be packed. There'll be a live band over in the corner jamming. The only thing missing is a pool table. Where's the freaking pool table?
It's on the right. You just got to pan to the right. You'll see that. There's I think there's 2 pool tables and a dartboard. So that's what's there.
Yeah, this is great. No problem. I got people hitting me up in my inbox again.
It's true though, that bottom panel, it's really like any place you've ever walked into. It's just meant to be your small hole in the wall. There's probably never more than a person or 2 in there at a time, because part of it is to really convey, I guess, for lack of better words, the intimacy of the conversation that might be happening, or somebody's, you know, that's a blowhard for them to really just like be talking. You almost want it to almost be like a one-on-one with a bartender kind of a thing. So a lot of times I think it turns into that. If somebody's there, they might leave. Somebody might just be walking out as somebody new's walking in. So it's always those kind of dynamics. And one other thing is, you know, while there's not per se a correlation in the sense of like somebody comes in issue 1 and that same person comes in issue 5, we'll say, well, there may not be that correlation. Their uncle, their sister, somebody related to them, somebody on the different side of that coin of that story that they told might come in a future issue too. So I guess you could say it has kind of that interconnectivity that way.
Nice. So we're down to like 1 minute left. What's your "this is why you buy this book" pitch?
I have nothing more I can say to buy the book than we have said and shown. Aside from that, I love the bar. It is dark and beautiful. I think it has great art. Very, very high compliments for that artist. I think just the creative team did such a good job with between the art and the coloring, just really conveying that aspect. And then even capturing, you know, the caption colors and you know, everything that the creative team did to bring it to life. For me, I'm like a full script writer kind of a guy, so I see a lot of it in my head. So that's both good and bad. It's good that I can give a lot of direction. It's bad in that we have to make it like I see it sometimes. Right, but either way, the end result is everything that I could picture, and I couldn't be more happy with how it comes to life on the pages. And I think anybody that reads issue 1 or issue 2, they'll instantly get it. They'll love it. I've not had a bad review. There's been nobody that said to me, it's really not my thing. Now, maybe they say that by not buying it or reading it or whatever in the first place, but nobody that's actually, I think, spent the time with it has not enjoyed it from what I'm aware of.
Okay. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to introduce creators to each other in case they have never met before. That's like part of the networking thing that the Madness is all about. Arman Nasim, Sean Terry.
Hey, Sean, what's up? Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Now,
if I disconnect, I'm having internet issues. I'll be back, I promise.
Okay. So, Sean, tell everybody where they can find you.
So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram and Twitter, it's Intelligent Comics, and then Facebook is just Sean P. Terry. The bar currently on Kickstarter. It just launched last week, so we got 3 more weeks. You can feel free to look at the sampler and download a couple of the issues that way, and just read portions of them. See if it's for you and check it out.
Cool. I want to thank you for coming out and sharing your project with us, and I hope to see you again before it's over. When does it end?
5th of May, so we got a while.
Okay, 5th of May. All right, we're going to get you out one more time before it's over, I promise. 56 backers, $1,300, just shy of funded, y'all. You know what to do. You know what to do. Go back.
Thanks for having me, Pops. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
You bet, my friend. All right. I don't know what's up with the shoe guy, but he's just doing my shoes. You see my shoes, Armand? You see my shoes?
I never have. Oh, this is for the Crom, right?
Yeah, these are the ones he's making for me.
Interesting, yeah. Is that just what's that base? Is that like a Nike shoe? What is it?
Yeah, it's a Nike shoe. I had him, and he like cut the swash off, so he had a whole lot of room to paint on.
Yeah.
He's got artwork on both sides. You see on right across the nose there is the comic related Madness logo that's up in the right corner right here.
Yeah,
that's what that is on the toe.
That's awesome. Is this like an add-on for it? Is this like a special item, like one of a kind?
It's a tier. He's going to make 12 pairs. This one's mine though.
Okay, yeah, this one's
mine. Okay. But he's going to make 12 pairs. They're all going to be unique. None of them will be the same.
Of course.
He'll be using different art from the campaign on different shoes. But I've been watching him make these, man, and it's quite an experience watching it. Dude puts a lot of work into these. He really does.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen somebody sell a shoe for their book before. But
I'm trying to do something different, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. I like it.
No, I seen his shoes. Right, he did that Joker pair that's in the ad that we play at the end of the ad, and I was like, damn, those are badass. I want a pair of Crom shoes. And then when we did the campaign, it was like, look, I'm gonna promote what you do forever. Hope we can sell some shoes for you even outside of the campaign. Like other people want to get a hold of them and have their IP done on shoes. That's cool too. If you get Crom shoes, you got to get them off our campaign.
No, I'd be curious. I'm not in down the line for sure to get shoes or merch like that. Custom, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just, man, those things are cool. I wonder if anybody want any. We put them on the campaign. You can get a book and the sneakers, pair of the sneakers. And like I said, each pair will be unique, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's dive into what you got going on though, Mr. Elixir.
Yes.
You want to share? Or you want me to?
You can share it.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Always make it hard on me. I ain't got no pen, I ain't got no codes, ain't got no help. You do it.
You can just go to elixircomics.com. Just type it into the browser.
All right, we are at Kickstarter, and let's share the screen real quick.
I'm on a mission to try to find Shadowhawk here.
I think Shadowhawk might be over there. Ethan's doing a draw stream right now. So, we're we're only gonna get so much love because Ethan's doing a live stream right now. There's 500, 600, 700 people watching him. So this is how it works. I don't know what possessed him to go on at Monday at 4:00, but He's the king. He gets to do what he wants. Yeah, no. So we have elixir.com, and we have this on Kickstarter. So you have a separate website. Does that just redirect people to the Kickstarter?
Yeah, it just redirects people to the website.
Okay.
So.
Are you going to build something on that?
Maybe down the line.
You grow?
Right now, it's just for this Kickstarter page, but yeah, I would like to. But let's get number 2 out first, and let's see how number 1 does.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying you've got a .com. A lot of people, it's like some people can't get a .com for their thing. Somebody else already has it, or you know what I mean.
And there's lots of reasons. Yeah, no, and it's expensive. But people can.
You got it. So hold on to it.
I want the .com, and then build upon it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you got it. So hold on to it and do something with it as you grow. Use it for your merch. Use it for everything. Man, you already got the .com, so you're well past funded, almost 300%. You got 59 backers. You still got a week to go.
Yes.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. Again, it broke all the records. This one for my previous 2 campaigns. I'm very excited. I'm seeing the growth, and that's really what it's all about, and the progress as I march towards Pops and doing one a month for the rest of the year. Kickstarter launches and book launches. So I'm really trying to make a big push, and then this is it's encouraging to see that we reach like 3,000 basically within the first week. Really, and then now it's kind of just like leveled off last week, and now we're trying to get more this final week. So
I hear you. I'm wondering if I think we might have an issue. I got to check the Facebook group and see if this is even going. Oh, tech issues. We love tech issues. No, we're good. Okay. It looked like it wasn't going over in the group, and it's got to go in the group. That's where the action is. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about the story, and then we'll play the trailer.
Yeah, so it is a fantasy action story. Tons, very cool art design. It's a lot of packed, it's a packed story, and it's about a monster hunter who wants, he's minding his own business in a way. He's a legendary monster hunter, and then he comes across a newly born embodiment of death. And this is his greatest, this will be turned into his greatest hunt, because it's a villain or a monster unlike anything he's come across. And it's something that's almost, so much for not only himself, but the entire, universe and, his world. And, he is arguably the only hope against this monster. So now it's one of these things where, it's a monster hunter story, and it meets like an immovable object meets like an unstoppable force kind of deal. So
cool, nice. All right, let me mute myself and play this trailer real quick.
I can feel the blood leaking out of me, draining out all that I am. My memories, my pain, my happiness.
There's something different in the air. I feel it in every breath I take.
It's flooding over my body and mind. It feels like death.
A new presence has been created in the universe. It is an abomination, a new embodiment of death.
Cyrus, the monster hunter, you will leave now. This is not a fight you can win.
You are angry at the world, at your place in it, your weakness, your mortality. Anger is good. It will keep you alive.
Angels, demons, they're all the same. All monsters, all my prey.
I choose you, Cyrus, monster hunter. I give you your greatest hunt. I name you my champion.
Why? I want my body. This world. Let me die in Peace!
Awesome. All right. All right. So who did the anime?
That is the one and only Pedro.
I knew that. He did ours too. He did me a little crumb, dude. It's amazing. Did you see it?
Yes.
It's cool. Yeah, I love Pedro.
No, he's great. He's great.
And since we brought him up, go check out Tropical Magics, yo.
That's right. Yeah, please do. He's about to fund 100%. He's at like 85 or something right now.
Oh, it's got to get there. He's got 19 days left. Okay, we're going to get him there. No problem. But I'm going to drop that link anyway. Tropical Magics, yo. Go check out Pedro's stuff. Yeah. That's what we do. We promote everybody. I love that one too. I back that one because Cheech and Chong meets, you know, I mean, come on. If it's a storybook, I'm probably going to get it. I'm just saying.
Right.
All right, so give us the rundown, man. Who's doing all? What? Why am I?
I think you're in the update section right now.
No, okay, here we go.
So we already unlocked an art print. We had unlocked the Cyrus sticker, but then we went back down in not a good direction. But I'll still honor the sticker. So we have 2 stretch goals unlocked. Where I'm hoping that we'll get. I'm pretty confident we will get to the 4,000 to unlock the last sticker stretch goal, and then hopefully more. But I'm very happy that this is already the best campaign I've ever had. So it's looking good. And so you can get there's 3 covers. There's the main cover, all of them made by the main series artist Pack. He made this main cover, this variant cover down here, and there's a last one is a metal cover. And it really just, it represents the different styles that we were going for, each very unique and different from each other. And this first one, the main cover, it just has all the characters plastered on it. And we got a special guest star. He's a big Malaysian artist, like hand artist. He painter, and then he painted that cover. And then now this one is a variant cover. We want to show like a happy family picture moment of this family. It's something that you won't see anywhere else, only on this cover, and it's something that you want to show a different side of the main character Cyrus. Okay, he's a monster hunter, but he also has a softer side, and this is his family. And then last but not least, you have the metal cover, and this one is a lot of people's favorite, but it's main character Cyrus taking a bath in monster blood. So he's just trying to relax. And then so 3 covers. There you have it, and we have 2 art prints. 1 art print.
I'm just letting you know. I'm muting myself so we don't get all that background.
Okay, got it. Yeah, we have 2 art prints. One of them is there's actually the ash can, and then there's the 1 art print we saw that unlocked. And then there's a subscriber exclusive art print that's being made by Pack live on our channel this Wednesday. We're gonna finish it up. We started it, and we're gonna finish it up. And that's basically it. And then you can see Pack's gorgeous line art if you want the ash can. If that's something people want. So. Again, we talked about the story. It's basically just Cyrus. He gets stuck in the middle of a war. He wants no part of, but he wants to reunite with his family. So he's willing to go through however many monsters he must go through, and that's these are the preview pages. It's 100% complete, ready to go to print. Probably go to printer. Next Wednesday. So the campaign ends on Tuesday, Wednesday morning off to the printer. So you'll get these books next month in May. And then just look at the gorgeous artwork here. We had a big time artist, a DC colorist, come on board. He really believed in the project. So Pack initially really believed in the project. So he came on board, brought his immense talents. And then Rain Bretto, really believed in the project and came on board. And arguably, he wanted to work with Pac on his line art. So a very stellar, incredible art team got put together for this one, and hoping it translates well and people really understand, get how much work and effort went into this team here. And then of course we brought in an editor for this one, something going forward. A lot of people told me I needed an editor. I think you were one of them, Pops. RJ was big on that. He wanted me to get an art editor. Lots of people just feel better about having an editor on the book. And so I was like, all right, let's expand the team.
Always got to have that not friend. I mean, you become friends, but that person that looks at it with the, yeah, this is how it really is. You know what I mean? It's not the candy coated, oh, you're my friend and it's so good. It's like you need an editor. Everybody needs that pair of eyes looking at it that gives you that no candy coating response. I mean, You need to fix this, you need to fix this, you need to fix this. That's what you want in an editor. You don't want somebody who just looks at it and go, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm assuming she gave it to you, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I welcome feedback from everybody. I think Neff, he tore down my my campaign page, and he built it, and then we built it back up, and that's kind of what it's all about. So, and then you just have all the tiers here, and I really kept everything to very welcoming, jumping on points. This is issue 1. I don't want to give anybody a reason not to come on. For $75, you literally get a commissioned inked piece inside the inside cover of the book by Pac himself. So it's one of those things where people, I see other people on Kickstarter and go, they're charging like $200 for that. I definitely wanted to people to really get excited about this book and really jump on board. So I think they're very friendly prices, probably the best prices on Kickstarter. So
there's a lot of background noise here, but I like it. Right?
Thank you, Pops. Yeah, it's a lot of work went into this, and of course the complete box you get the collector's box, and you get everything, and you get like almost like $100 off. I really want to give everybody that box. It's more than anybody else will give you. Anybody else will include, and it's something that I'm willing to do to build this fan base. You get a T-shirt, you get your name on the thank you page. You get the ink commission sketch, you get all the covers, including the metal cover, and then you also get a blank sketch cover, a special. So if you want to take it to a con to your favorite artist, or if you ever see us at a con, you can definitely ask Pac to kind of draw you something. So if you want the original art piece, you can have there's 3 covers, all the entire book is traditionally drawn, so hand drawn by Pac. So so we have all the original pages, but for sale is the covers if anybody wants this tier. So you can have it. And this book, 2 years to make this book. This book. I just wanted people to know how long it took, how much work went into this book. It was a lot of work. And
I like this feature. I do. You just telling everybody where you got to, except you're over here in June. And you're not in June yet. Now you're being clairvoyant. I'm just saying.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. We're planning ahead. Right?
Hey, you got to give the fans what they want, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Looks like you got this thing put together pretty well, man. Keep your fans updated. You know how this works, man. I'm sure that you've gotten all the awesome advice from everybody already. Mm-hmm. You got Pedro hanging out with you. He's getting the advice from the old guy, Bear. So yes. I mean, you're in the right crowd, man. You're doing good. Lee, I sent you a message on Facebook. I had questions for you. I don't know if you answered them or not, but check it out. Lee does a lot of our art, a lot of crom art. He submitted 2 pieces to the fan art contest. They're just amazing, and I think we're going to use one of them in the campaign and let him put the other one in the fan art contest, because they're both good. They're really good. So this is what's going on over here. This is shoe number 2. stencils in place, paint going on. That's what's happening over there. Man, those shoes are amazing. So what are you gonna do? I mean, yeah, I know you have book 2, book 3 planned out. Do you have a full arc? Do you know how far it's going?
Yeah, it is a limited series. So this story does have an ending, and so we're kind of not worked backwards, but we definitely planned out initially like a 4-issue arc. But it's kind of the way that the pacing of the story is going. There's so much story that we're trying to pack in there. So now we're trying to really let it flow. And now we're looking closer to like a 6 to 8 issue arc. But yeah, around there. So there is a plan. There's an outline, guideline. The ending's already written, basically. And now we're just trying to get the pages flowing well. But yeah, the story's already written. Pack's excited about it. And we both, before we started this project, of course, just 2 years ago, we really wanted, it was important that we both believed in it enough to finish it. So it will get finished. Issue 2 is already on the way. The issue 2's line art's already done. We're just getting it colored and lettered and all that good stuff. So that's why I'll be out in September. But then issue 3 is going to be starting up soon. And yeah, it's one of these things that, I'm hoping it, it already did well. And I'm hoping it continues to do well, because this, in my opinion, might be the greatest story that, I've ever worked on or ever wrote. And it's my favorite one for sure. So yeah, and it's because it has a lot deeper meaning versus where I can have a lot of fun and lost magic and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited for where this project will go, and it will continue, because even Pac was talking. We made a small webtoon about it, like a prequel series almost when they're kids. So it's a big world that we're trying to expand, and there is hope for a future volume where we can go with that. But let's finish this one first for sure.
Well, I was going to say, you figure as you get accustomed to this, you figure, and you're that far ahead on the art and whatnot, you'd probably be looking at maybe 2 a year, right?
What? Say that again?
You're looking at maybe getting 2 out every year?
Yeah. We're trying to get 3 out. It's like it depends, because if we get a bigger head start, because again, I'm really learning as we go on this year.
Right.
I just launched my first one 2 months ago, Pops. Can you believe that? So we're on month 3 now, book 3, and then we're really trying to keep learning as I grow. But yeah, there's planning ahead. I'm getting better at these things, so it will come out faster. 2 this year, and the 3rd one's going to come out next year. But yeah, maybe there's almost 3 next year, maybe 3 or 4 next year. So we'll kind of see how the the slate being released looks like.
I mean, that's one of the things that, it's indie comics. Everybody knows we don't have the giant everything behind us and all the money behind us. We get them out as quick as we can. But if you can consistently get one out every 4 to 6 months, you're not going to, the fan base won't drop off. Everybody will be like, I know it's coming. Yeah,
no, that's what I want. That's why I'm going to do, 1 book a month this year. So I really want to build it. And then I don't know if that's sustainable or if I want to continue that, but it's something that I've set as a goal to do this year. And then next year we'll kind of, plan for next year. But, my hope is that the numbers get bigger, the audience gets bigger, and then I don't really need to, push as crazy. And then I can kind of, really spend my time on some bigger IPs and making everything bigger and better. So.
Yeah, well, I just want you to know, promotion never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Look at guys like Polito. Okay, look at guys like Brian Polito that are still out here doing videos about my campaign with Lady Death. Go get it. We're doing this. We're doing that. And he's like all still super excited about what he's doing and promoting. It's like never stop.
Yes, absolutely.
Never think that part of it ain't important, because man, as soon as you're not excited about what you're doing, nobody else gonna be excited either.
Yeah, no, I understand that 100%. It's part of the marketing, and you have to keep selling the books. That's what's gonna it's directly linked to it. Pops, I do have to head out a little early, like right now. If that's okay.
No problem. I got my next guest in the backstage already, so you're good, bro. Tell everybody where they can find you.
elixircomic.com, and on Instagram, Real Arman Nasim. It's just my name with the word real in front of it. So RealArmanNasim. But again, you can probably just find me on, go to my, elixircomic.com, and then all my links are there as well, especially on the Kickstarter page. I'd like to meet before I head out. I'll say hello to the next guest.
Sean, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, Sean. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Sean is the creator and founder of Biff Bam Boom Comics.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. I've heard of that. So there he is. Nice to meet you.
Cool.
Very cool.
Talking
Thanks,
to
Pops.
him. Hey, you bet. You have a great day, Arman. Sweet. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just had to try to get here on time. Like what I was doing, like right before was I was making sure my grandmother was settled and make sure she was taken care of. She's all good.
Right.
That's what I was doing.
All right, which one of these you want to look at first, man? You got two links.
Right now, the main one right now is Youth Mob. Right now is going on Kickstarter. Right now, we got 27 days left, and right now we're just doing our best promoting it, getting the word out about what we're working on.
Cool. All right, let me get this up here. All right, you just launched this thing a couple days ago.
Yep.
You didn't tell nobody, huh?
Nah, I told the world, and it was just like Facebook fighting the algorithm.
Oh yeah, the pages and the news feed.
Yeah,
they're not really the way to go on Facebook. It's like you got to go join the groups, the comic book groups. Yep. And whatever genre your book is, like if you got a horror book, you want to go talk to people in horror groups and go, "Hey, yo, I got a horror comic." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like
exactly.
They're the groups is where it works.
Yeah.
The pages is about them trying to make money off you. They don't mess with the groups about you got to pay for ads. I post stuff in the group all day long and share it to other groups, and I get no grief at all. But as soon as you're out on your news feed, or you're sharing page information, Facebook's all over you about you got to pay us, and don't you want to upgrade that? And it's like, no, I like my group real good.
Exactly.
So we're going to talk about this. Now you launched it a couple days ago. Only a couple people have backed it so far, but what is it about this book that people want? Tell me, what do they want?
Basically, this book is a labor of love of the old traditional style of comics meets new. There's two different generations coming together. Me is as the writer and stuff, and I come from like the young new animated generation. I grew up with anime and stuff like that, and my father is more the traditional, grew up on 80s and 90s comics. And it's just a blending of our two worlds coming together with our characters, Youth Mob. And the biggest compliment we always get with our characters is they feel so familiar, like you can tell exactly what they are, where they're from, but at the same time, it's totally brand new concept idea. And that's what we want to bring with our young heroes right here. And Youth Mob is one of our main properties that we're working on. Youth Mob is just like, it's a clash of like Teen Titans, early X-Men. It's young teen superheroes come together, bits and pieces of just high octane action that we're working on, a little bit of slice of life stuff with them. And with the series so far, it's been doing really well, especially like at con shows that we've done just last month. We pretty much sold out. We just had to go back to the printer on our old ones, the first zero, and now we're promoting right now for the next chapter of this one is 0.5.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got work. I'm always working. Bro.
Yeah,
always.
Exactly.
Networking is what I do, and this kind of stuff right here. I just had somebody in my inbox going, "Hey, man, who's this guy?" Watch the show. Okay, so this is the cover, right? This is
the cover of it.
Cover number 5.
Yeah, 0.5 actually.
Okay.
And
okay, I get you.
Yep, and it's just the next part to it. Like the synopsis for this one is basically like in the very first one, like the lines where you knew exactly who the villain was going into it. And this one, the lines are a little more blurred with this one because it's like how we set it up is a friend, basically our first part where like the team actually had to face off against another team member, and that's the really cool setup that we did for it this time. The lines are blurred a little bit with this one, and by the end of the issue, we got a nice little twist to it. Figure out what's really going on with this adventure, and with this series, we plan on doing as many as possible because it's really doing well. It's really catching on with people, and that's always a great thing when you go to a thing and people excited come to your table. They're like, okay, when the next book, and this is it right here. Yeah, this is our character Goldie. She's I call her like the powerhouse of Youth Mob with this team. She's like one of the strongest members. Her and Gabriel, the Green Monster, basically, are kind of like really like powerhouses for this group. And with this one, it's focused around her and her. She's the main focal point of this story, and the nice little twist at the end with her. I don't want to spoil it.
Right. So who's Green Dude?
Green Dude is Gabriel. He's our, you can say, Nightcrawler, Beast Boy. He's the odd one of the group that gives him that cool uniqueness because it's like they're all teenagers, but he's the oddball teenager because he's a gargoyle actually.
Cool. Gargoyles. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And the rest of the team here?
Yeah, and the rest of the team. Otto, he's one of my very first characters I did. He's really close to my heart, actually. He's one of the potential leaders of the team. Each, like with the group, each member basically has the potential to become a leader, but him and our other character, Loco, obviously, like right over here next to him, they always bickering back and forth about who's going to be the leader. So with our dynamic, because in most other groups, it's always one leader, and you know exactly who the leader is. In this one, they always bicker and go back and forth on who can possibly be the leader, and that's another cool dynamic that we added to them. It makes them feel more fresh and just adds to it. And then the next character next to Otto is Amara. She's our she's the strongest member of the group because of her magic and ability to just cast spells and things like that. She's a mystery for the most part, and she has a really good arc that we're working on with her, and it just over the series it slowly builds, and then it's a nice little payoff for that one. And then next to her is our fun little character Vibe. She's my father's favorite character, and she's also really popular. Like when we go to the shows and stuff, because she's like real eye-catching. She's real fun personality. Just does sweet. She's real sweet, and it's just her colors like really pop. And from a whole bunch of people that told me that read the book and stuff, she was like the most eye-catching of the group so far, and that's where it's just been going for us. Just along the storyline. Thank you. But yeah, with the style of this, the artist is my father. He loves the digital painting style. It's because he's a big fan of like Alex Ross, and from there it's just the labor of love. Each one we've done so far just slowly building and getting reviews from people talking about how can we improve the book and make it as good as we possibly can. And that's what we want to do over the series, is just keep getting better and better as we go along.
Cool. It does look, it looks good, man. I like it.
Well, thank you.
And it just keeps getting better. I love the way, now he drew that.
Yes.
The lettering across the top of that, right?
Yep. Yeah, he does so many different mediums because he's trying to make it as like eye catching as possible. Like he wants, like when he does his work, he wants it to feel like you watching a movie in a sense. Like you feel like real high octane action, really cool set pieces, and then just giving it as much as we possibly can. This is a labor of love. We say with our project, it's just real fun. Just exploring them. Yeah, he do a lot of different mediums in it, just to give it that flair. And right here is we actually hired 2 artists actually for the back of the book, and they do more of the slice of life stuff because my dad do more of the heavy traditional action, and then we got 2 backstories in the physical book that just follows like more slice of life, real short, little sweet tales, just so you can get a better understanding of who they are as the characters and show a little bit more of the world behind Youth Mob. And then the pinup art is another artist. These are my dad's actual students that he taught in class, and he shows them the page and stuff he's working on. And they was blown away by the story and everything that we put into it. And it was like, any way we can get on and help and add that. And my dad hired them and just slowly give them nice little credits in the back. But this is only with the physical books. You get the backstories to them. That's the perk that we did with them. You get a physical and a digital copy. Digital copy is like $5, and then $10 for the physical copy throughout the campaign. Yeah, and that's just her, our other artist. That's just her style. It's just really fun, loose with it, real stylized, and that's just a real cool thing so far that we've done. It's like seeing other people like do your characters in different styles and do their own interpretation of what you have. Because there's only so much you can do with your style and show, and then you always like to see other people's interpretations of what your visual medium is, and it's just been really cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's really fun just working with my dad. It's like it's times when we butt heads a lot because we was like, oh, I gotta put this cool idea and we gotta put this cool idea in. I don't know if this gonna fit this one, but it's like, okay, if I let you get this idea and then you gotta let me have mine on this one, and then we're like, oh, okay, and then it's like that like all the time. It's just really cool. Just working with my dad because because I started like mainly I started the company first, and then like for like the first year I was just working, grinding, putting in work, and then before I brought my dad on, I wanted to make sure like that he knew that I was taking this really seriously, that I was really motivated to do this, and this wasn't just like a flyby idea. And that's where I just slowly did a few cons and stuff, got my feet wet, got a good atmosphere of just the business, and every day just keep grinding like that. And then as soon as he hopped on board, then I was like, okay, now we got all the pieces together to make this really work how we really want this to. And that's pretty much a good little chunk of my backstory so far.
Awesome. I mean, you get to work with your dad. That's cool. I wish my son wanted to work with me.
We get that a lot.
We play golf together. That's what we do. But yeah, man. So you got the physical tier, $10. Just the main comic digital, $5 for the 0.5 issue, the 2 backup stories. You got the Youth Mob book bundle, physical copy 30, digital copy 15. 2 books with over 100+ pages of story content.
Yes. But that's the thing when we do with our physical books. We try to give you as much as possible with the physicals, and digitals is just the main story. It's a solid main story.
Got a complete digital library of all the books.
Yeah, and that's every book we worked on so far.
Right. The Heroes bundle.
The Heroes bundle is nice little physical bundle. Has a nice little T-shirt comes with it, and a lot of little extras like little buttons and stickers and stuff that we customize to make it really pop.
Hey, guess what, Sean?
Yep.
That's what you're going to look like when you get old. If you didn't know, that's what you're going to look like when you get old.
Yep. Yeah, we get this a lot.
Yeah, that's your dad for sure. You're his son, no doubt. That's great. So we already heard that origin story. So yeah, that's cool. What who did the little chibis?
All my dad art right here. This
awesome.
one we was first fleshing out the characters. Yeah, this one we were just fleshing out the characters, and he was getting a better understanding of them, because like the hardest character for me to sell to him was my favorite character, Otto. It was like, because he wasn't a traditional superhero. He didn't wear like a traditional costume.
Right.
That's the hardest sell I can get from my dad. And now, once I make him like it, he likes him even more than I do sometimes.
All right, that's what you do. You gotta win him over with talent, baby.
Yep.
You know, but you have another book, right?
Yes, and we're another campaign coming around August. Is for Cody. That's our other property that we're working on. It's Youth Mob and Cody. That's our other property.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and drop this link in the chat for this one, and then we'll pull up the other one, and we'll drop the link in the chat for it as well. Let's see. All right. This is Youth Mob right here. Y'all can go check it out. Now, the other one, let's see. We have Valiant, Cody Valiant.
Yep.
Now, is he part of this same universe?
Same universe. Every book that we work on is all connected. You're just seeing a different aspect of the same world. Like if Youth Mob ever go into space, that's the same space that Cody flies through. Everything looks exactly the same. You just seeing it from a different perspective. That every character we work on is all connected in some way, even if it's like from the past. It's somehow tied in to just the broader universe that we're building.
I got to take a look at my shoes real quick, man. What do you think of my shoes, man? What do you think of my shoes?
Yeah, those are nice.
They are. Show him the other one so he knows what you're really doing there, Nick. Making my Crom shoes, man.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw your promo video the other day.
Yeah, he's making them, man. They're I can't wait. Looking good, Nick. Killing it, brother. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And now he's working on the left shoe. And the left shoe is even louder than the right shoe. And that's what's going on the left shoe. That's amazing. Good job, Nick.
Yeah, that was cool.
So we just letting him, just keep working on it. And this way everybody gets to see the process, because we have 12 of those on our campaign.
Yeah.
Cool. You can get a pair of Crom shoes, a custom pair, and you can get Youth Mob shoes too, bro.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm just saying, I mean, if you're gonna do merch, let's do some real merch, man. Some custom, What is up, Raging? I don't know if you know Nita or not, but she has a show as well that promotes. She has a promotion group on Facebook and whatnot, and does the same thing I do. Promotes the hell out of everybody. So exactly. You might want to look her up on Facebook, the Raging 2 Promos group. I'm telling you, groups is the way to go, man. Groups is the way to go as far as networking and promotion on Facebook. It's not the feed and it's not the page. It's always the groups. They got the fans, not just the creators, the people that are looking, what's the cool thing right now? Exactly. That's where they go, to the groups that do what we do to see what the cool thing is. Is this the next cool thing, Sean?
Exactly. Yeah, this is the next one. Youth Mob is like the family friendly project. Cody is for the mature audience. That's how you get Cody, is the mature audience. This is our, like, we call it the red label. This is like the heavy adult content with this one. It's like all adult things and throughout Cody, and he's like the one of the first ones in our line for just like the adult, like sex, drugs, all that, everything, all that exists in his world.
Okay, and your dad helped you with this one too?
Yep. He's the artist for all of them. I'm the writer and everything else, promoter. I'm all the other hats.
And your dad approves of you knowing all this stuff about sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Yep.
He didn't give you no, boy, how you know about that?
That's going to lead just over the weirdest conversations. Dad, her tits aren't perky enough. Can you fix those? Like,
yeah, but that's one thing we don't really have an issue with, because my dad does a really good female figure. That's one thing. Like, that's one thing that you will.
I was thinking in terms of boy, how you know about that kind of stuff? Some drug talk and what they'd be like, looking at you all funny. What you know about that?
You know what cocaine smells like. How are you able to describe that so vividly in your comics, man?
That's pretty much like what we're just all about. He does the art, and then I'm the writer, and we talk through the storyboards like every day. And Cody is our space cowboy. It's like Star Wars meets like Cowboy Bebop. That's how we're promoting it. It's like he's like every pretty much like Flash Gordon, all the traditional like interstellar space heroes. That's his tone. But he also lives in a world full of superheroes and all that that goes along with it. But for the most part, it's just him. He's and over like the course of the story, you get to see all the cool exotic alien characters of our universe that eventually every other character will run into. It's introduced throughout him, throughout his story. And he's a really fun, laid back, super confident, overly cocky at times, just main character. He's the character every guy wants to be, and then every woman wants to be with. That's the type of character he is.
Mr. Smooth.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when I first saw this, I was thinking that this guy reminded me of Buckaroo Banzai. And it could be that way. Let's go ahead and watch the video and let everybody check this out. Oh, I gotta mute myself. Winner. I can say that's a great little trailer.
Thank you. Yeah, I put that trailer together.
Good job.
Thank you.
That is a great little trailer right there. And there you go. A green girl and a blue girl.
Yep.
Captain Kirk got nothing on, dude. What can I?
Yeah, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of everything that we just slowly offering with Youth Mob and Cody. It like we want to tell really cool classic stories with them and just slowly grow our universe and our fan base as well. And mainly just everything that we're doing right now is just a labor of love, and we enjoy every little bit of every project that we step into. And we just want to bring classic stories and really well art just out there to compete with anybody. And that's pretty much what we want to do, just make quality products that you just enjoy.
So, how much fun was it writing this guy?
He is hilarious. Cause we give him really cool quips and stuff that he like. It's not hard to write for him. Like, cause dad does really good with like expressions and stuff. Traditionally, we do like the Marvel way. Like when we write it, like my dad puts like all the art. Like we talk the story out first, and then he does the art and he lays it out, and then I come behind and then I put in all the dialogue for him. And he like just his expressions and tones and stuff, demeanor from page to page. He writes himself, and that's the mark of quality characters. Like when it's easy to write them, it just basically just put it in.
Man, it don't belong to me. You got kids on Facebook?
No, that's mine.
This is like, yo, my son ain't doing that. Hi, daddy. So, he's smooth. He's your. I like the legendary outlaw. I like the name you picked for him. That's the little catch name. That's awesome. Now I can tell you're having fun. You're having fun with your dad, and that's really what this is all about.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize that enough every time I'm out here. It's about having fun. This looks like it's a lot of fun, man. Do they meet does Cody and the youth mob meet as peers, or they gonna butt heads? What's up?
Eventually, when we get to that point, we're gonna do a nice little crossover with the two. But for the most part, I feel Cody. I feel Cody and Otto might get along well, and then and a few of the other characters might not like him. It's like because Cody and Otto are pretty similar in personality wise, but like they had two different type of like role models. Like Cody didn't grow up with a lot of role models to look up to, so his demeanor and stuff is really arrogant, over the top, full of himself. And then my character Otto is pretty much that, but he grew up with really positive male influences in his life that swayed him a lot differently from that. And that's like the difference. But if my character Otto grew up similar to Cody, that's how his personality would be too. And that he's not too far off. Like he would think he's really cool. He would think Cody is really cool. He want to hang out with him and stuff like that. And the rest of the team, like, nah, he's a bad influence. He's gonna get us in trouble, and he's a hindrance to everything. But that's like a future crossover, like down the line that we were working on when they all meet up.
Well, I like to hear about people that are building a universe and they have different titles and different lines that are all eventually going to bounce off each other. Isn't that how all the good big universes began?
Exactly.
A couple characters that are in the same place, don't know nothing about each other. Oops, eventually they gonna meet.
Yep.
Exactly. and there it is, and the universe building begins. So I'm looking back here where Nita said she learned it by. I'm assuming she learned it by watching me. You poor girl. That's all I can say about that. You poor girl. If you're learning this by watching me, that's like the blind leading the blind. I'm just winging it. I don't have no idea what I'm doing. I just do the best I can to get people seen. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't found the perfect formula yet by any means. The best thing I could do is bounce everybody off each other and hope, everybody picks up the slack and promotes each other and talks about what each other's doing, and that's how the fan bases grow. You got to bounce them off each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything is a learning experience. Good days, bad days, but every day is a learning experience.
Yeah, no doubt. So you have 3 titles right now?
2 main titles right now. The other titles were like before, like we had a different direction going with them, and then Youth Mob and Cody is the new direction that we're going in. At the 2 main titles that we're working on.
All right. I just, in case we had other things that we had to be on the lookout for.
Oh, it's a lot more coming. It's a lot more coming down the pipeline. But these are the main 2 that we're working on, main 2 properties that we're working on that we hope that everybody know us for is these 2 properties. And then they slowly feed other properties that we're working on.
Right.
We have a lot of other properties. Like my dad comes up with new ideas and concepts every day, and then I got to help him flesh them all out because it's like he hits me with a bunch of ideas. Like once I got to go back and think about it, sit on it. Okay, how I'm gonna make this work? How I'm gonna make this fit into what we're doing? So we don't have continuity errors or plot holes or anything. You gotta make it fit properly. So that's the main thing. Like we do, we don't want to shoehorn anything into it. It has to feel like it belongs in the world that we're building.
Does he send you messages at 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I got this cool character, this alien character. Cool. Like, you don't love it, like, I'm happy.
And he's like, I don't want to forget, go to sleep and forget, so I have to tell you right now.
Yeah, and I'm half asleep. I'm like, yeah,
I've been there. I know exactly the type of guy your dad is. I'm just like that, man. Every time I'm involved in something, like, some kind of project or whatever, and I get an idea, and it's like, I don't want to go to sleep, forget about it. So I'm on Facebook. Hey, yo, check this idea out. Okay, I'm going to bed now.
Exactly.
Or you get an idea while you're laying in bed, and you actually have to get up and write it down, or get it in a message or whatever before it'll even let you go back to bed. It's like the idea just keeps growing and growing and growing, and you're like, okay, screw it, get up, write this down. I'm not going to go to sleep until I do.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I'm sure DarkGift is quite sick of me sending him messages about the Cromniverse all the time. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do this. We need to do that. Exactly. What do you think about this? Hey, can we pull this up? But that's what you do, right? You throw stuff against the wall, see what sticks, man.
Exactly.
So tell everybody, Sean, where they can find you, all the different social medias and whatnot, so that people can find this. The link is up here for both of these things, to sign up and the Kickstarter that's active. You guys go get involved. Looks like a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, just at 3B Comics. To see the logo, you'll find me. Chat with me, just contact me. I usually hit you back in like within a day or so. If I don't see it, I usually see it really fast. But if I don't see it, usually a day or so before I come back to you and contact you, and we just talk about anything and everything that we're working on, just so we can stay in contact and work together on different things. Even I help a lot of other people like flesh out other ideas that they're thinking of. Like even though they don't have like story plot or anything, I help flesh an idea out for them and help just connect with other artists and help them hit their full potential too. And that's pretty much what we do at 3B Comics.
Cool. So I have to prepare for our next guest. He isn't here yet, but I got to remind him, hey, yo.
Yeah, that was me.
No, you was here early. You were good. You know what's up. It's always good talking to you, Sean. I definitely want you out again. Did you sign up for CromCon? I can't remember. There's something like
yeah, I think so. I'm not completely sure about
it. As long as we get you out on the show again before this campaign's over. All right. You know what I'm saying? Got to get this one funded, yo. Go check it out. Youth Mob number 0.5.
Yep.
There you go. Go check it out, everybody. I will see you again soon, Sean. You have a great day, man.
All right, see you. Thank you.
Peace. And while we wait for our next guest, I'm going to go ahead and play an ad or two real quick. Check this one out. Yo, what do you think of those? Huh? That's what that guy's doing right there. And our next guest, you guys, this one is somebody I'm meeting right now for the first time. I'm really impressed with what these guys got going on. I only met his partner Patrick, or one of the guys working on his campaign, not very long ago at all. But I was really impressed to find out that this guy is working with one of the people that is already networking in our group. Did you know that? Ezra, how you doing, man? Welcome to the madness.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
Welcome, man.
This is a music as well as, I mean, let's see what I don't want to mess this up. Let you go ahead and describe what you going on while I pull up this campaign.
It's one of two things. It's a double album of music with a comic book of all the songs, or it's a comic book with a double album soundtrack of all the comics. I'm not really sure which way it goes. That's what it is.
That is great. I just want to go ahead and get this up. I sent Patrick the link.
That's very Metallica of you,
dude.
Because they did that whole movie where they told them, they showed a movie and like played out this whole story while they were playing a concert. It was like getting chased down like a road and like a riot popped out, and that's dope. That's a cool idea. I like it.
That's good. I like it. Well, I'm going to take the Metallica comment as a compliment. I'm going to say it's Ride the Lightning Metallica instead of like Black Album and Later. That's just me. And then I'm going to take it.
I like you.
Do you mind if I jump up here and say it's more Enter the Cromniverse?
Oh boy.
Iron Maiden?
Oh yeah, huh? Forgot about that one.
You know what I'm saying. I got to throw my own plugs in here once in a while. Now, dude, how did you get to this point where you were marrying the story to the actual songs? I mean, I know some people that got songs or music that go with their campaigns, but not like marrying every song to part of it. This is pretty unique. How'd you get there?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of sides to it. One is just that, this thing happened in March of 2020, and I lost all my gigs and everything else I was doing. And so I ended up writing a lot of songs and finishing a lot of songs and that I had sitting around. I just had a lot of time to do a project to throw myself into. And so the silver lining of all this pandemic stuff, I guess, was just that I was really able to kind of dive in, and I found I had this batch of songs, and the lyrics seemed to me to be a lot of like narratives and stories and characters, and so I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? Well, how do I put it together? What am I going to do? How am I going to put it out? And I was like, I got to do something with the lyrics, I think, because it's kind of important. And then I've always, the other thing is I've always been a comic book nerd. Right since I was in high school, but I never really thought of like putting music and comics together. But then it just sort of gradually dawned on me, like, okay, wait a minute, what if what if it's not just a lyric sheet that goes with the album? What if it's an actual comic book? You know, what if these songs are illustrated, you know, in some ways so that everybody can kind of interpret them on their own. And I just kind of went with it from there. I asked a buddy of mine from high school who's a comic book writer now. His name is Colin Devonshire. He's got this great zombie apocalypse book called By the Time I Get to Dallas. And I was just like, dude, how do I find comic book artists? Like, I don't know anything about this world. Like, what do I do? You know, and he kind of hooked me up with some people and then there was a couple people like Patrick who I actually knew from beforehand. And I was kind of like, oh, that's right. Yeah, they're comic book artists. And the whole thing just kind of started snowballing. And I found artists who were into the project. And I ended up just basically sending everybody a demo of the song, whatever shape it was in at that point, and the lyrics, and just saying, okay, you know, go for it. Like the interpretation, the visuals are completely up to you. You know, like sometimes I would say, well, here's what I was thinking when I wrote this song. Like, this is what it's about to me, but you have full creative control, you know, because I kind of wanted it to be sort of a collaboration like that, you know. I didn't want to script it out too tightly. I didn't want to say, like, you know, panel 1, this is, you know, the hero is standing on a building. Panel 2, he's socking the bad guy in the face. You know, I didn't want to say that.
You don't want to curtail their creative.
Yeah.
You want them to bring out what they get out of it. You know,
Right,
it's like, that's what you, dude, I so get that. I mean,
Yeah.
I got an anthology thing going myself, and it's like,
Nice.
this is my guy, fit him into your thing. I ain't messing with what you
Right.
do.
Yeah.
This is how, you know, I mean, I give him a low description of my guy, and it's like, do a crossover and
Right.
let them write this. They're the writers. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, a guy who talks about comics.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I like that. And the other thing is, you know, as you may have noticed, if you listen to the album, I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's just, I like a lot of different kinds of music, and that comes out in my songs. So the album jumps to, like, in terms of musical styles, it jumps around a lot. I mean, the one that Patrick did is like a kind of a heavy glam rock tune. But there's one that's just an upright bass and voice, is like a really mellow kind of lullaby song. And then there's some indie rockers on there, and there's an Afrobeat song, and there's like a house a disco kind of track, you know, so it kind of moves around, because I like that. I like albums that do that. So I wanted to have the comic do the same thing, you know, so I kind of set out to look for artists who had different styles, who had all had unique styles, because I wanted to get that, you know, that same sense of when you're listening to the album, like, oh, that sounds different. I wanted you to be able to, you know, flip through the pages and be like, whoa, that's a completely different feel, you know, look, and everything in this one and then this one. So that was another thing that when I started checking out artists, I was just really looking for people who had their own style, you know, like their own unique thing. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
I love it. I like the look of it totally. I like it. 135 backers. Now, is this still available?
Yeah, the Kickstarter is done, but right. It's now on the band. There's a Bandcamp page. Hopefully you have that link, but I'll put it up.
I don't know if they sent me that link or not.
I'll put it up in the chat. But
if you put it in the private chat, then I'll drop it on all.
Yeah, cool.
I'm broadcasting 3 different places. It'll go to all 3 of them.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's up. You know, it's now up and available, and I'm sending out records all the time. You know, it's and it's, you know, it's in whatever format. I mean, it's an actual double album. And in a comic book, or it's whatever digital, you know, you can get the comic with the digital or both digital or whatever, you know. I don't want to discriminate against, you know, people without turntables or anything.
That's got the old Freak Brothers feel. The old blacklight orgy posters.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. Yeah. I mean, these guys, and, you know, all the artists are from all over the world. I mean, there's right. Patrick, and there's another couple guys from here in the U.S., but you know, Luis Santa Marina is Argentinian. 2 Argentinian guys. There's Z Hunti is from Morocco. There's an Italian Flame Ghost artist. You know, one girl's from Finland and another's from the UK. You know, a guy from Indonesia. You know, I kind of like it's just got this really international flavor.
Dude, this is good. I wish I'd heard about this while your campaign was going.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's still available.
I met Patrick last like a month and a half or 2 months ago. We had a martial arts panel at my monthly event at CromCon, and he came out with Master Fujita and, you know, some other people, and they talked about martial arts in comics. Now, I've done the music thing in comics before, where we had a big panel of people that do music, but I didn't know about you.
Ah, well, you got to do another one then.
Yeah, we might have to. We might have to do another one for sure. And there's a lot more people that are involved in it now. Some of these guys even have like open mics on their YouTube channel where people come out and karaoke and stuff now. It's like
nice.
Everybody's trying to have fun. That's, you know, that's what it's all about. We got Corey Barton, Nita. Nick, did you catch this one? There's a message for you here.
Tell Shoe Dude to hit me up. All right, Shoe Dude. Come on, Shoe Dude.
You know what's it.
Leave that up for a second. I'm going to copy it on my, I'm going to get it on my phone so I can tweet them.
All right. And right there is the Bandcamp. All right.
Yeah, so that's the place. That's the place you can get it now. And I also put a bunch of videos. I made a whole bunch of sort of Ken Burns style videos, you know, kind of panning over the comic books as the music is going on. So there's a bunch of that stuff up there too, so you can get a feel for it, you know. But yeah, you know, I kind of wanted to. I've always been interested in combining music with other things, you know, whether it's like film or theater or whatever. And I always wondered, you know, what would that look like if you combine music and visual art, you know.
Got it. Thank you, Bob.
You got it.
So this was kind of like a you know, I felt like, oh wait, I can finally try this idea and like see what happens by doing this, you know.
All right, so are we going to get a copyright strike if we play this music?
I think I own the copyright, so I will say no.
Okay.
I would say go.
You would not believe how many people claim other people's music.
Okay, well, I'll be interesting. I want to see if anybody claims mine.
We'll find out, right?
Yeah.
I want to play this trailer, and then we'll probably play one or two of them songs that you
all
got.
right, cool.
Cool. I have to mute myself for this though, guys, because no.
There's something moving in the garden, something rustling in the leaves. I know I should go out and track it down. I just pull all the curtains tight. The sound is getting nearer. Footsteps make it rather large. I shrug and watch that you were gone. You must remember I had never been so lonely. You must remember I had never felt so alone.
There's a system that's watching everything you do for government, collecting records of every phone call in the United States. Everything that you've ever typed into that search box. Every private message that you sent on Facebook, every link that you clicked, everything that you liked, they keep perfect records of.
We are the Bureau of Everything. We watch you work and we watch you say. Your love is deep, but so is our range. When all our lights were dead and gone, whisper won't be long now. Touch your picture, hold it tight. Was it planted just right? A line of snow, a line of cold, feels the same on my nose. I get so angry looking back. Was I supposed to cry? Outside, I'm lying. Too bad you're all mine. Good dance and spread our arms until sunlight all around. Tell me you're wrong, tell me you're true, tell me lies, tell me you are lonely, tell me you're unhappy, tell me around the world, tell me your name is on, tell me. Here's where we smash it all and all. Here's where.
This is Ezra, aka the Ear Goggle, and I am releasing a double album of all my songs with a comic book. Comic book is an anthology style book. It's got incredible artists from all over the world illustrating each and every song on both albums. I cannot wait for you guys to see and hear this thing.
All right, there you have it. Spinal Tap poster, yeah. That's my pride and joy right there. A friend gave me that.
Ooh.
I had to make sure the
Great.
Spinal Tap poster was in the background when I did that video.
That is great. Oh, here he is. There he is.
There's Patrick. What's up?
What's up, Patrick?
What up, Ezra?
Hey, man.
Hey, Pops, how are you?
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I like this.
So you saw a little bit of Patrick's comic in there, which is just so amazing, and it's Patrick's actually one of the only artists that I actually had met before in person in real life. Everybody else is, on the internet wires. But his comic was a good example of sort of how this went, because I don't even remember what I said to you, Patrick, but I think I sent you the song. And I was like, I don't know. I was thinking this is like some robot and some guy, and and maybe it's like a Blade Runner thing. I don't know. And
that's
Patrick,
what you said was like, did you see the newest Blade Runner movie? And then we kind of took it from there.
Right. Yeah. But what you did was like far beyond what I could have told you to do, which was the whole point of this project, to be like, have people put something back, give something back that was like beyond the scope of my imagination in this right. form, in this art form. It was just amazing. I remember getting Patrick's comment, and I was just like, holy shit, this is good.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was fun particularly because I'm mostly working in the kids comics realm, so I'm kind of working for like doing my art for younger readers. But this was a chance to kind of push the envelope and
right.
Go a little more sci-fi and get a little more mature with the imagery.
Yeah. Yeah. Yours is I have a 9-year-old daughter, and of course she's been thumbing through the comic book, which, I think it's cool, except there are a couple where I'm like, maybe let's turn those pages.
Yeah, skip that one. Yeah.
Skip that one.
I got the same problem. I got grandkids. I got an anthology.
Yeah.
I mean, I fixed a couple things, like my guy curses in binary.
Okay, nice.
So the F bombs will be ones and zeros. Nobody will, you know what I mean. The kids won't, But at the same time, there might be slight amount of, overt cleavage, or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, yeah, just turn that.
I mean, I think that's kind of part of comics. Like I have memories of being when I was way young, and I was able to grab a hold of a couple of issues of National Lampoon magazine when those things were coming out. And, this is like in the 70s, and, National Lampoon had comics, but it wasn't Mad Magazine. It was much more for you know, for the older
Right.
stoner. You know,
Yeah,
and so here I was, a grade school kid with it, and just amazed that this kind of thing could be found in comics. You know, they
Yeah.
had, you know, some R. Crumb artwork in there.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think R. Crumb was probably like my introduction to, you know, oh, whoa, like comics can do that. Okay. Whoa. That's,
I was a Freak Brothers kid.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
It, along with my stack of those other magazines, there was Freak Brothers. You know, the underground stuff. I loved those things.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but now
Yeah.
they got it. Now they got them on Tubi.
Yeah.
The Freak Brothers have come to this decade. It's crazy, crazy show. But that's the kind of stuff that comes out of this. It's like, I got to ask you, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Usually somebody would come to you and they'd go, hey, man, can you draw me something kind of doing this? They give you a little character development layout or whatever. You didn't get nothing like that here. You got a song.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, first of all, I've been fortunate in that I've been able to see Ezra perform live, you know, on more than one occasion. So I kind of know his style, and I know, you know, I kind of have been there. I've been there for, you know, for the events. So I think that helped me. But I think it's definitely like a tricky thing. I think when I'm not doing comics, I've done record album covers, not just for Ezra, but for other artists. So I've always been kind of in that space of, you know, kind of taking music and trying to interpret it visually. So, you know, so I think the lyrics help, and then just talking with you, Ezra, just really gave me that sense of like, okay, I think, you know, knowing him, knowing the music, seeing the lyrics, it kind of like, there were things that were already coming into play, you know, and then it was tight, you know, like there's only so much you could do with 3 pages. So you've got to make every little aspect count, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's super interesting. And I mean, you had more of a leg up since I know you. We've hung out than any of the other artists, you know, actually who literally just got a song. And, you know, one thing, Pops, to sort of answer that also is what I discovered is I think most comic book artists are really not used to being told like, hey, just do whatever, you know, like it's up to you. Like it's more normal to get, you know, a script or whatever, or to say, you know, here's where the good guy is on top of the building, and here's where he flies through the air and he socks the mugger in the face, you know, and I got, for the most, I would say 75% of the artists were like really psyched that this was the arrangement. And then the other 25, it ended up being great, but I definitely had to work, you know, there was some like back and forth, like, well, what do you want for this? You know, what do you what character? I'm like, I don't know, you know, like, and I would, like I said, I would say, well, here's what I was thinking when I wrote the song, you know, this is what it means to me, but I want you to interpret this. And there's a couple, you know, kind of like, you know, like one guy, like actually there's one song called Leave No Trace, which is like, to me, the song was a metaphor for an obsessive romantic relationship as a really fast car ride, you know, like something really dangerous, you know, it's not going to end well, but you just got to do it. And so that's what I told the guy. And he's just like, well, what kind of car? And I'm like, I don't know, man. What does a fast car look like to you? You know, like if you want to draw it that way, like, you know, it was just really interesting because I've never worked like this before. So I never thought about that, but I think that's, you know,
I think it's amazing. There were no existing IPs here. They were all created out of songs on this campaign.
Right.
You know, none of these characters existed before, right?
No. I mean, you know,
the ear goggle, I guess you could say.
Yeah, right. That's who's on all 3. You know, there's the record cover, which Patrick did, which is amazing. Right. And then there's the 2 comic book covers, because the book is a flip book. You know, it's got record 1 from the front, and then you flip it over, record 2 is on the back. Cool. So there's actually 3 different covers. Actually, but then since it's a gatefold album that folds out, there's 2 other panels, which are basically covers also. And for those I created this character as myself, the ear goggle, just this photo shoot that my wife did where I was just like dressed up, and I just carried all my instruments and, you know, my tape players and my effects pedals and everything. And because, you know, I play all that stuff on the records, and I just like sent everybody the photo and was like, here, it's this guy, you know, like do something with him. So yeah, that's the only character. So he's not in the songs, you know.
I got to run down here and edit this because I had the Kickstarter up here. I didn't know it wasn't live, but I'm going to change this in the description and put the Bandcamp logo.
That's right. I mean, yeah, the Bandcamp is where it is the live one, but you know, the Kickstarter does explain a lot about what the project is, and you know, has a lot of the artwork and stuff. So it's a good place to check it out.
I mean, it was a great campaign just because you had all of that song. You know, you could just release a song and then throw some art and be like, okay, you know, want to know more? Check out the campaign. And then just once you're flipping through that book and, you know, playing the music, it's just such a, you know, it's like a full experience, right? Because you've got the music, you've got the books, you can read it at your own pace. You could mix and match, right? You don't have to read that one song with that one soundtrack. You could play around.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's kind of I mean, another part of the point of it was just to sort of make the experience be less of a passive kind of listening or viewing experience, and like, you know, have you decide what kind of experience you're going to have. You know, you're going to just read the book, or just listen to music, or doing both, or just, you know, try and do it all together, or whatever. You know, it's all a different experience. But you know, I mean, Patrick,
throw this out there. When I was young and I read, when I was like, you know, I spent some time reading comics, there was always jams going down in the background.
Right, of course.
Always, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's even some music that I've thought would have been a great accompaniment to movies. You know, it's like, how come that movie didn't use this music? Because it just fits perfect, right? You know?
Yeah.
But comics, there was always that in the background. There was jams going on. You were listening to something that was, you know, Pink Floyd or Rush or something that was out, you know, took you out into Storyland, you know. So it just seems like a natural marriage. And I really like the way you did it, though. It's like, here's a song, you guys draw this, you know. The only thing I can even think about that comes close, I think Creed did a song called Bullets, and their video was a cartoon, an animation, you know, like a 3-minute anime or whatever.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of that comes close, man. You know.
Yeah, Creed did that. Linkin Park's got a couple of songs like that. Gorillaz, all of their stuff's animated. Death Clock. So like, I think the viewers.
Go ahead and make Go ahead and make me look like I don't pay attention to enough music. That's what I need from you, Nick.
Well, the main frame of reference I have for that is the old heavy metal magazine, and then the heavy metal movie with Ralph Bakshi. You know, like that was the kind of.
This is yours, right, Patrick? This is your YouTube.
Yeah,
I forgot to put that under there. Okay, yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's the when I thought about, you know, comics and movies, or comics and music, that's what I thought of was that heavy metal stuff, which I remember as a kid, which was also like inappropriate for me at the time. But you know, I was kind of like, wow, okay, there's boobs on those ladies.
Well, I mean, that's part of comics too. That's part of comics history. You know, you can think of back when the Seduction of the Innocents, when, you know, the Comic Code Authority thing blew up. But there was always been this thing of, you know, kids find I think it's only recently where publishers are trying to say, this age group reads this kind of comic, this age group reads that kind of comic. But growing up, it was just, you know, try your luck, you know, and depending, you'd find something that you weren't supposed to find. And then if you weren't lucky, right, it was your friend's mom who would find you with that comic that you weren't supposed to have. And you know, whether it was heavy metal or National Lampoon or, you know, whatever's happening these days, right? Like, I'm dating myself by saying stuff like Epic Comics, you know.
I know. Hey, I'm right there. I know what you're talking about.
I do the same thing. Now, this is Ear Goggles, right? This is your guy.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the cover of one of the books. one side of the comic book. That's by this guy Flame Ghost, the Italian guy. So that's an example of I sent him that photo of me with all my instruments, and I was just like, okay, here's the character, like, just draw him doing something, whatever, like maybe he can be reading a comic book. I think I said that, or maybe it has something to do with the comic. And then I got this back, which, again, it's just like 1,000 times better than if I had said, okay, he's got to be standing in the,
Right.
and then whatever, doing this,
Yeah, it's way different. I mean, I like when I have somebody do a sketch cover or a commission or something, I'll be like, kind of want this, run with it. And then I don't want to see it till it's done. At first I'll be like, okay, this is kind of what I want, but don't do anything yet. And then for the next 2 months, I'll throw ideas at the person. I'll go, okay, add this to it, add this to it, add this to it. And then right before it's time to do it, I'll take out all the crap that don't look good. And I'll be like, okay, these 3 things, run with it. And then I let them go. I don't want to know until it's done what they do with like those 3 topical items. Like I had a friend do a Action 1000, but I wanted a retro Action #1 on the sketch cover, right? So he gave me a retro Superman. I said, I don't want him holding up some old beat up jalopy. I want him holding up something modern, but I want an old retro look. That's all I said. I let him go with it. He went and did a little research, found out I was a Vikings fan. He had old Superman holding up a Vikings bus.
Nice.
It's like, that's the kind of stuff, man. I let him go. I give him a little idea. Okay, now do what you want with it. Make it fun. Have fun doing it. Because I want artists to have a good time drawing or whatever they're doing for me, so that they can be their best. So what comes out of here, So I want to give them something that's fun to do.
Right.
I don't want to lock them into all these different, put all these barriers around what they're drawing, and then they're drawing basically what I should have drawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm commissioning them because I want what they do, what comes out of them. So, it's weird, but that's me.
Yeah.
I was having a blast doing these shoes until I had to put down all this freaking tape for this stencil pops.
Hold up. This is the Iron Maiden piece, guys.
Wow.
It's going on my shoe.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
That piece right there.
I see. Okay.
It's going on the shoe.
I see that. Nice.
This guy does custom, super cool shoes, man. And he did a pair for Mike Barron.
That's
the Punisher,
right.
Right? The guy who wrote the Punisher. He did this
Right.
for him.
Well, those are cooler shoes than I have.
Dude, I need cool shoes too. When I go to the con, I have to have something that stands out, right?
Right.
So he's taking my little character.
It's another mighty tradition, that just. I mean, I remember being in high school and supplementing my lunch money by painting the backs of those Lee denim jackets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or painting the sides of like those Adidas shell tops, and that.
Yeah, everybody had those. In fact, there was my comic book shop that I went to, which was on Broadway and like 92nd or 93rd in Manhattan, where I grew up. It was on top of a jeans shop, and a lot of the comic book guys would be down in the jeans shop, and they would stretch out their jean jackets on like a canvas, and they'd be like spray painting or whatever, like these designs. It was like a big part of the whole thing. They'd be like doing up their jacket or whatever it was.
That's so funny. Gel tops. I have a pair I'm making into a Chicago Cubs pair tomorrow.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean it's so awesome to know that the tradition is still alive. That kind of art. Real on the ground. You can call it street art, right? I mean, that stuff's really happening. It's not just about the big publishing houses and whatever, Marvel, DC, and something. It's about the stuff that we're doing. Using Kickstarter, right?
Oh,
Using Kickstarter, it would have been whatever else. It would have been a freaking mimeograph machine.
Yeah, well, that's what it. Yeah, the zines. Yeah. I mean, I've discovered one just great side effect of me doing this whole project is just me discovering all these indie comics. You know, I got on Kickstarter and I was like checking out everybody else's campaign, building my own campaign, and that led me to, you know, I spent like hundreds of dollars, of course, backing everybody else's because I didn't intend to. But I was just like, oh man, this is so cool. Like I gotta get one of
you
these.
get caught in the trap, don't
Yeah,
you?
it's just like a rabbit hole. But now I've got this. I seriously have like a shelf on my bookshelf with just all these comics that I've gotten off of Kickstarter. I had no idea this stuff was out there. There's just some great.
Now I'm going to
great
do
stuff.
it to you again. Are you ready? Go relaunch this on Indiegogo.
Or Zoop.
Yeah, Zoop now. Indiegogo, yeah, because I know a whole bunch of people that use it, and you know.
I see.
A good portion of my audience. My campaign's on Indiegogo because so many of the people in my audience use Indiegogo. It's not saying we're not going to go drop it on Kickstarter next, but you see what I'm saying? It's like I went where my audience was first, but by all means, man, go run from there. You run you've already shown that this is done. It's you already ran this campaign, fulfilled it. You go to Indiegogo and you say you set up a $500 goal, fixed goal, and then as soon as you fund, then you just set up an in-demand store right there on Indiegogo and just keep selling them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
you know,
yeah, we could do it with the next one. So Patrick and I we're already working on the next my next album of this style is a kind of a it's a similar idea. It's going to be a record with a comic, but this one is a rock opera like concept album, and it's going to be a graphic novel that comes with it. It's Patrick and one of the other artists who did this, Olive Mitra. The story's kind of like with flashbacks. So Patrick is going to do one timeline and the other guy's going to do the other. And that one's going to be different than this because all the songs are connected and all the, it's one story all the way through. So pretty, awesome. It's going to be called Box of Tapes. That's going to, I can't wait. The music's almost done. Art's happening. And so, maybe that one we'll launch them on both, launch it everywhere.
You got to now look, now we know each other. You got to keep me up to date on everything that's going on. Patrick knows this is what I do. I have 3 weekly shows, a monthly event. I do launch parties, I do countdowns. This is what I do, man. Keep me up to date with what you got going on. Join the comic related madness on Facebook.
Oh, good.
If you hadn't, because Patrick will tell you that's where the action is. That's where we do all the networking. Everything I do originated out of that group. And it was funny, right at the beginning of this interview, you told my story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You said in March of 2020, when everything shut down, this was born.
Yeah.
In March of 2020, when everything shut down, I became a promoter of indie comics online because there wasn't nobody going to no cons this summer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's how my platform was born as well, sir.
Yeah. Some silver linings there.
Yeah. I mean,
comic related madness sounds like what I've been going through the last couple of years. So, so I like it.
It started out just a little group where we'd come out and we'd go, look what I got. And we'd hold up our new book, right? Or we'd show off our haul from the local comic store or whatever. That was how the group started.
Right.
6 months later, Emerald City went down and it was like, oh crap. All my friends that I had met through this group, Brian Polito was one of the founding members. I had some really, big time comic people that were part of this group. And it was like, I went to Brian, I was like, what are you going to do? Emerald City. I knew he had just shipped all this stuff to Seattle for Emerald City, right? All these nice exclusive Comic-Con covers and stuff, right? I was like, Brian, what are you going to do? I just ship everything back to Phoenix, have me a sale online next weekend. And Brian had a big enough following where he could do that. As a matter of fact, them exclusive covers were seen by a much larger audience than would have seen them if they were only at that Comic-Con. You see what I'm saying? So he actually sold out, sold everything really fast. All the rest of my friends didn't have this huge following. They were small indie creators, and it was like, look, I'm going to do this online event. I'm gonna do a whole weekend we're gonna call it CromCon, Comic Related Madness. You know, it's like an acronym for comic related CromCon. We're gonna go out and I'm gonna show the world what you guys do.
Nice.
You mean it doesn't have anything to do with Conan?
Yeah. It sounds like that.
Have we ever seen that guy? We don't know.
Well, you know, one thing that's amazing, Pops, is that the last time I hung out with you, right, we took a deep dive into martial arts madness, right? We were talking. I mean, Mike Barron was there. We got into this whole conversation about like martial arts and comics, and then, you know, here we are again, and now it's musical madness. You know, hanging out, talking with Ezra. So it's just like this. I mean, it's what comics are about now, because you know, it used to be comics was just superheroes, right? But we've all grown up, and now we know comics can be anything, you know. And so we've got anyone can write it, anyone can produce it, you know. It's like this new time that you can just get any kind of comic that you want, any style. You know, I've seen one on Kickstarter where they're printing them now like to be like accordion books, you know, where they just unfold in crazy ways. All sorts of possible things can be done now.
That's amazing.
I was telling Ezra just a few months back that we had a panel at the end of CromCon that was a bunch of people that had music involved in their campaigns. And as I wish I had known him then, because, you know, but we're going to do that again just because I've met a few more people that do it, and I'll be able to bring out practically a whole new panel.
That's the thing, right? There's always one more dude doing it. Like, you know, my Kickstarter campaign ended at the beginning of March, and my jaw has been on the floor as I keep seeing more martial arts type comics hitting Kickstarter. And here I was thinking, oh my God, who's gonna be interested in my martial art comic? Turns out tons of people, because they're still coming out. There's one more coming out every second, you know. So maybe not every second, but you know what I mean.
Everybody wants that martial arts hero that's gonna stick. You know, everybody wants that one guy that's just gonna stand out, man. And everybody's trying to make one that does that. And that's when the competitive juices get flowing amongst the creators, and they're like, well, that guy's martial art dude is cool, but I think I can make one that's cooler. You know, and that's kind of what's happening. I keep seeing more, just like you said, more and more campaigns that are based around martial arts characters, that and mythological characters. You know, we're seeing a lot more of that now too. But for me, it's all fun. I love it. You know?
Well, the reason why I bring up the martial arts, because I think that there's a parallel between, like, you know, Ezra's music project and the martial arts project, in that, you know, these things are not like you can't make $1 million being a martial arts instructor, you know, like these things, people do these things because they're passionate about that in particular, right? And then it's like the next stage is sharing that passion, you know. In Ezra's case, it's the creating his next album, right? Because those things are not easy to do, you know. I'm sure Ezra can tell us stories of many bands or albums that they've done one and that's it. You'll never hear from them again, you know. But to keep putting the stuff out, right? That means that person is passionate about what they're doing. And then the comics is just another way to get that out there, to get that story and to share that vision, you know.
Now, has the feedback been that any one of these songs or stories has stood out as a possible future character going forward?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't talked about that with anybody. Definitely people have like, feedback of definitely Patrick's has been talked about. The first one in the book and on the record, the Luis's The Garden, that one. And then the Afrobeat one that Flame Ghost did with the Edward Snowden interview samples or whatever. People keep talking about that. And the guy and Z from Morocco, his one with all the camels and everybody dancing in the desert. People have really gotten into that. But I mean, that's a good. Yeah, I should think about that more. Writing a sequel for these guys who are in some of these comics. I mean, it would be cool. And I'm excited. You know, this next project that we're doing that I'm excited to kind of see, to take it to the next level kind of. And I mean, it was really great to sort of see these different interpretations of different songs, but now to kind of follow the same story and the same characters through a whole book. I'm like really excited to kind of do that with the music and the art, you know.
I'd kind of like for you to write a song maybe based on some kind of historical meeting between martial artists.
All right, all right.
Famous martial artists, and throw it at Patrick to draw.
Sure. I like requests. It's like it's motivating, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I'm just as an example, Splinter and Shredder, but actually maybe some actual historical people.
Nice.
And write a song about it, and you know, or a 47 Ronin tale, or you know, something, and give it to one of these martial arts artists and see what they do with it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that'd be fun. I mean, there's so many epic battles that could be, you know.
Yes.
That could be, whether it's like, you know, I mean, imagine we've seen movies about it now, right? The famous secret fight between Bruce Lee and Wong Jack-man that happened in San Francisco, you know?
Uh-huh.
There you
go.
go.
It's just like, no one really knows who really won that fight, but everyone's got an opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
and the people that were there weren't talking. You know,
tight lips, and you know, the tragedy is those last masters are just passing away now. So those secrets are going to the grave. But you know, maybe it's better that way, right? Like
keeps
so
the
myth
mystique.
can live on.
Keeps the mystique, bro.
And then everybody's got their own version of what happened, you know, which is maybe that's better anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
There was so much that happened in that era between like 72 and 77. You know, great people that we lost, and you know, just I mean, huge things that came out like Star Wars, and you know, that little 5-year era was just an amazing time to be a teenager.
Oh yeah. Or like to take it on the musical tip, like what were the concept albums that were coming out around then, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Like that wasn't that the era of the rock opera?
Yeah,
really
pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a great time to be a teenager, I'm telling you.
Right.
Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short because, well, not cut it short. I mean, we've been out here longer than I usually have.
Cut it anyway.
You know, I could talk to you guys for a long time.
Yeah.
Definitely want to see you both again in the future. I want to know when sign up pages go up for new projects. I want to know what you're doing so I can be involved with promoting it from the beginning, not come in at the end and go, "Hey, yo."
Yeah,
you can still get it here, but I missed the whole campaign, and for me, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, you got it. We'll do it.
You know, you'll be on the top of the list, Pops. That's for sure.
Dude, I appreciate you guys coming out and giving us your time. You guys go check out the Bandcamp. You know what's up. The Ear Goggle at bandcamp.com. Go check out. Let's see, what do we got? We got the Lugo art page. Yes. PLugoArts.com. Go check that out. Dude, this guy's got some awesome stuff too. If you missed CromCon last month, you need to research a little bit about Mr. Lugo as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you. Ezra, it was great meeting you, and I definitely plan on seeing you again, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast. This is great.
You bet.
Really appreciate it.
Real good meeting you guys.
Cool.
For you in the chat, thanks for watching all that stuff, retweeting, posting all that. We're gonna look at shoes again for a minute because dude's been working this whole time. So we're gonna give him a little airtime. That's what we do.
It's impressive.
You guys can hang out and check him out if you want, but what's up? What's up?
All right.
What's up, man?
If you don't know, this guy right here, New Genesis Designs. You can find him on Twitter, all those, all the places, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you once again throw that other shoe down there so these guys get an idea of what you're doing with this one.
All right, let me get my last piece of tape down here.
All right. He's putting a stencil down for the beautiful art that's going to be on the left shoe. On the left shoe.
Yeah. That's the left one. Nothing on the other side just yet, but that's getting the Crom Hulk going on there.
Dude, this Durango, the Jim O'Reilly art's gonna be on my shoe. You bet, Patrick, Ezra. Thanks for coming out, man. You guys rock. We'll be seeing more of you, I'm sure. Look at that beautiful shoe, you guys. Look at that. Dude, you're killing it.
I'm gonna do a really light purple hand brushed highlight in here to kind of just like help tie it all together, and then just to add a little bit more to it. And like I said, I still gotta clean it all up, but this is all ready for final detailing, and then like all the finishing touches, which I'm not gonna do until I get the other one done.
Right. Looks good, man. Appreciate you, Nick.
Trying, man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to get it right, you know what I mean?
Now we're gonna be out here again tomorrow morning about 11 if you want to just.
I will be here.
Huh?
I will be here. I'll have my wife wake me up and make sure I get the hell out of bed.
All right. Tuesday morning brew, y'all. We will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna play these last couple commercials and then we are out.
And I'm gonna keep spraying away on these for a little while.
You know what's up? Coming up the end of the month. Check it out.
Come get some.
The Comics-Related Madness presents Enter the Cromleyverse, an anthology featuring a little green dude with a bat.
Yeah, listen, it's me, Crom, the world's first real-life internet troll. So there's a whole gang of creators making an anthology starring yours truly. We're talking 15 creators, 13 stories, another 8 folks creating merchandise, all for your entertainment. Indiegogo is the place you want to go to back this glorious project. This anthology features my lovable self crossing over in today's best independent comic books and graphic novels, causing chaos everywhere I go. In addition, we're going to be offering custom painted shoes, black light tapestries, sketch cards, alternate covers, adorable crocheted mini-me's, original art, and sculptures.
Anyway, back at today, only on Indiegogo.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add